Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are going to do a simple fix to a very irritating problem that I have inside the Maverick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, how many of you guys have this problem? You have so many cubbies and places to store stuff, you end up putting more stuff than you need in here, and some of the stuff has got to go. But the very biggest problem that I have is two things. One, this phone holder. And you might say, well, what's wrong with that? It's fine. It holds my phone perfectly and it sits right there. The only problem with that is when I get out on the road with my wife, who sometimes leave her stuff in here. This may not be hers. This may be my mom's. I don't know. However, when we get to go somewhere and both of us order a drink and we're on the road, then we have a problem because one of us does not have a cup holder because my phone holder is in it. So after today, this is no longer going to be a problem. Matter of fact, let's just unscrew this right now, take it out of here, because after today, it's never going to be back in here. Now, maybe I'll give it to my daughter. I don't know. Maybe I don't throw it away. It's like perfect though, isn't it? But not for me. Now, the other problem I have is, you guys know, in our Maverick, we have this USB port. That's how we plug our phone up because we do not have wireless connectivity. We have to have it wired. So if you look here, I have all this wire. There's some keys hung around it. It's always getting tangled up in something because I feel like I need a long enough wire, and yet it's so much wire that when I get in the car, it always seems that I can't find the end quickly. Well, we're going to fix that right now. And we're only going to use a couple of things, and I promise you it's only going to take about 10 minutes to do. If not, here's a disclaimer, maybe it'll take me longer, but we'll try. So the first thing we're going to do is gather everything that we'll need, and I'm going to show you that right now. Alrighty, the first thing we're going to need is one of these grid cubes that go in that little cubby hole on the side near the screen inside your Maverick. All of us have those in ours. Some of you use them. I have never used mine for anything, but today all of that is going to change. Also, to hold the phone, we're going to get we got one of these. These are vent. These normally you would clip it inside your vent and hold your phone. But today we're going to use it with these two things. Now, all total, I think I paid, matter of fact, I know what I paid. I paid like $9 for this, and I paid $16 for this. So for under $26, we're going to make us a very handy dandy phone holder, and it's only going to require a little bit of work. So what are we going to need? You're going to need some tape. You're going to need some drill bits. And you're going to need something that you can fish a wire down in behind the dash with. And for me, I'm going to use this old string trimmer. Well, should I say string trimmer line that I had in the garage. It's pretty sturdy, and I should be able to pull it up through there with that. And you're going to need a drill. What else are you going to need? We also are going to use our little pry tool, which is a little soil. I think I'm going to wipe that down before we begin. So hold on. It's not going to take us long to do this. We also are going to need a little handy dandy wrench set. Socket set. This is the same socket set that I left under my daughter's hood that she drove to work in her car, and it was still there, and I have recovered it. We're going to use a 7mm socket. And we're using a 1/4-inch ratchet with a short extension on it. So let's get in the car and get busy. Alrighty, people, the first thing we're going to do is get behind here and pry up this panel up under here and pry this up. we got it. I think we broke one of the clips, but I think we got enough of it to put it back in place. Next thing we're gonna do is get back over there and take out 3 7mm bolts. We have the 3 bolts out. Now we're going to take the screen and unleash it. There we go. Finally. Woo! That was a struggle. Mercy me. Then what you're going to do is reach back here, unplug the cable out of the little slot there. It all looks easy till you're doing it. Till you're the one doing it. Okay, there's a little indentation in there. You just kind of push that in and it unplugs. Okay, we're halfway there, guys. So now what we're going to do is take and fish our little fishing line down behind the radio there and attach the wire and pull it up through. But before we do that, we're going to prepare this little cubby. We're going to drill a hole in the bottom of that so that we can fish. We'll put a hole in the bottom of this so that we can fish our wire up from the bottom. So, okay guys, we're going to drill a hole just big enough for our USB cable to go through. We'll start off with a small bit and work our way up. You want to put it, kind of put the hole right in the center so it'll come up from the, from the bottom. There we go. Now we're going to step the build size up just a bit. Get it? Step it up a bit. And I think this 3/8 bit may be big enough. I'm not sure. Let's see. Fit through there. Not quite yet. We need a bigger. We're going to step it up and make a 1/2 inch hole. 1/2 inch should just about do it. Okay, it always helps if you tighten the drill bit in there. Probably could have made a cleaner hole with my Dremel tool. Edge a little bit. Let's make sure it fits through, and it does. All right, now we're ready to pull the cable up through that area back there. So let's get back in the car. Okay, now we're going to see if we can't fish this fishing line right down the back side of the radio and make it come out down the bottom. After much fishing, we have gotten the wire down through there. So now let's take some tape and see if we can get it to go back up through. It was not easy. Took a little time. So don't let anyone fool you. It's going to take you a minute to get that wire fished down behind there. So let's see if we can't tape it up smooth enough so it won't be so hard to pull it back through. And then we'll go from there. So we're going to tape this up and make it as sleek as you can. Put enough tape on it to hold it. And if we pull the trimmer line loose from that, then we got to start all over again. So let's pray we get it right the first time. Okay, so make that part where the cable has to come back through as skinny as you can. And now we'll try to pull it up through there. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. I hope it goes up through there. It's a lot of stuff to get hung up on back there. All right. We started it. Here we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. We're at it. Oh, we're almost there. I can almost taste it. I see the blue tape. Come on now. Come on through there. Here we come. There we come. There it is. Woohoo! 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 All right, so now we got the cable coming all the way back through. So we are almost there, guys. Hang in there with me. This is probably taking me longer than I thought it was going to. But you know what? You don't know until you try. Let me get this tape off of here. It wasn't going to come off there. I got it taped on there so good I can't get the tape off. So let's hope we can get done before dark so you guys can see this. Once you take one of these things out, you really start to notice what was holding it and what was giving you the most trouble. And this has two clips down the bottom, one on either side, but it also has these little clippy coos that kind of go in there. So first thing we're going to do is plug the cable back in gently. Cable's back in. I'm going to run this wire along the edge, pull a little bit of extra up through there. We got plenty of cable. That cable was so long I could have reached somebody in the back seat with it. Pull that on up through. Alrighty. So roll this up through your hole that we drilled. Run it up through there like that. Now we are ready to plug back in the screen. Make sure you don't pinch your wire because you don't want to put a short in that cable. Then you got to buy a new wire and do all this, take all this apart and do it all over again. And we do not want to do that. Okay, there we go. Screen is back in. Now, before I bolt all of that completely back in, I'm going to get my keys and make sure that everything is working. Let's make sure the screen is working. Okay, yep, we have power. Everything is working as it should. So let's cut the power off. First thing we're going to do is reinstall those 3 bolts that we took out. I tell you, it is hard for a tall brother to get back in here. Maybe some of you guys with little hands and short arms and all that kind of stuff might be all right for you. But man, I could never be a surgeon or a dentist. So I'm all arms and fingers. Everything on me is long. All right, we'll get all three of them started and then we'll tighten them down. Sealed up. Now let's go get our grid and install our phone holder. Okay, we're going to run our cable through the grid. I've heard people say that these will fall out and they're not really good and all of that. I haven't used any. I've never put anything in this cubby, so we're going to find out. We're going to see if it does stay snugly in there. I've heard people say that they had to put some tape or something in there. I don't think that's coming out, but we'll see. We will try everything. It's all about trial and error. So I have enough extra cable down here, and what I'm going to do so that we don't have a mess down here anymore, what we're going to do is wrap up all of the cable that we do not need anymore, because we're not going to be moving it. And I'm going to bundle it up, and eventually what I'll do, once I decide that I have the exact amount that I want out, I'm going to zip tie it and shove it back into the cubby up under the dash there, and then I'm going to just plug it into the USB port. Alrighty, now, thank God I have more than one phone. Where is this little phone holder is very sturdy. I tried it out last night. It has this little mechanism. You open the jaws, we'll clip the jaws into the cubby in a very good spot, and then we'll wind her tight. If I can reach it with my big fingers. Matter of fact, what we'll do, we'll take the phone mount part off and mount the other part, and then we'll put that part on, because it's easier to get to that way. So let's put this in here, shove it as far back as we can, and tighten. That's pretty doggone tight. Now let's take this, slide that over the little knobby, push this over the knob, and then screw the back part down tight. Alrighty. There we have our phone mount, and you can adjust that. And this one here, you squeeze it and it just comes out like that, but you can adjust it to however you want it. Let's see how it works. This is my other phone. I know, I have 3 phones. Don't ask me why. Put it in here like this, squeeze it tight, and now we have a phone mount. Pretty nifty, huh? I like it. So now let's start up the car. And I like the way where it sits at. It's really handy there, because you know, when I'm going down the road, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's solid. It has enough give so you know its vibration won't bother it. But when I'm going down the road, I like to have my GPS sitting right here. It's where I can see it. So let's just kind of go through the motions. Turn the good old phone on. A nice little picture of me and my daughter toward me, and that is perfect. And I can still get to my controls. And it's in that cubby. I've never used that cubby for anything. Sorry about that. I've never used that cubby for anything, but now I promise you that I will. So there it is, phone holder. And look down here. Remember all the wiring mess I had down there? Guess what? It's all gone. Now I can tuck all my little wires down here out of the way. There's nothing coming up over this area here. There's no mess down here. And when I get in the morning and get ready to hook my phone up, all I have to do is plug it in there, pop it in there, and I'm ready to go. How easy is it to take out? Just push a little button on the side. The jaws. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't demonstrate that right. Just push the little button on the side. Jaws open. Pop it out. And we're ready to go. Isn't that neat? Put it back in. Squeeze the jaws of life over the phone. Plug it into the bottom. I know it's easier with two hands, but I'm trying to film for you guys, all right? And you're ready to go. So there you have it. Our new phone holder, and it's ready to go. The grid for the cubby and the phone mount can both be purchased on Amazon. The link will be in the description. Remember to like and subscribe. You all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.